Hey guys, welcome back. Coño. Okay, let me. Hey guys, welcome to the Darling Talk Show. I am your host, Alexa Darling, and today we have an amazing guest. His name is Sledge. Give a round of applause. Hey, Sledge.
Hey, man, it's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you for coming, making
Hey,
time
man,
to be here because
it's my pleasure.
It's my baby. I'm proud of this, this talk show here. So you being here means a lot. I look up to you. You are very
Hey,
inspirational.
that means a lot to me. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be
Ready
great.
to get into this conversation.
Yes. Okay, so first things first, right? I'm all about wine, I'm a wine
Okay.
girl. And
I'm a
I
whiskey guy,
whiskey,
bourbons, but
I don't do
I mean, it's okay.
I'm very lightweight.
Today we about wine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I want to introduce this to my audience. So every episode I'm going to be like introducing a new wine to the
Okay.
audience.
Okay.
If you look at this bottle, like it's so interesting, it doesn't even look like wine.
No, it really doesn't. It looks like a vodka or something,
You know
or
what I'm
tequila.
saying? But it's Pinot. So
Okay.
it's called Volga. It is actually, let me see how much percentage it has. 12% of alcohol.
Okay.
And it's usually like, dry wine. So we're going to
You know
toast.
what region it's from? Like, are
Italy.
you that deep into it? Italy?
Mhm.
Oh, so it's Italian.
Italia.
Okay. All right, Volga. We're gonna
Yes.
try it and see
We're
what
gonna
it
try.
does.
All right. It says it's a award-winning wine. So 5 stars. Here it is, you guys.
We'll see how many stars we give it
All right.
by the end.
Yeah, because you're a little picky.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got to open this.
Okay, so put the bottle back in your hand.
So, Sledge, you actually are going to do this for me. Cause
No,
you
that's
are.
fine. Oh, are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, cool.
So, you're going to actually do this for me because I don't know.
All right.
So, I mean, I do know, but I feel
Cool.
like I'm so clumsy.
You know what's interesting about this bottle
Yes.
is that at first it looked like it was just a tequila or something like that, and then you took the top off and boom, it has a cork.
You know what
so
I'm
it's
saying?
actually really a wine.
It's really a
I
wine.
thought they were kidding.
I really love packaging. Like, I'm very big on packaging.
Okay.
Like, if a packaging of something is nice, even if it's not good, I'm
Right.
going to like buy it because of the packaging. So,
It's a really cool bottle. They really did their thing on this.
yeah.
Kudos.
Kudos to Volga.
Yeah. On the bottle alone, Volga. Okay.
Yeah. So, I want to see what you're going to say about it. How you going to see, you so smooth with it. See?
Hey, man.
All right. So, we're going to.
All right, ladies first.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
I know how to do it properly, too. That's the gentleman way.
Ooh, you better speak on it.
I will.
Okay.
It's good?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. I feel so fancy. My little cup, my glass. Hi. So what are we gonna toast to? Actually, we're gonna toast to this show. We're gonna toast to this show. This show is gonna be so great
It is.
that I'm gonna just put great energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for this. So
Here's to a great conversation.
great conversation.
All right.
Salud.
Salud.
Mhm. You know what? This is good because it's not even too dry.
Volga is Volga-ing. Yeah.
It is because it's
Yeah.
not too dry. It's perfect.
Yo, so far so good, but it's an experience. So as we sip, we'll see. So what you got going on? What are you
All right.
talking about?
So let's get into this. First, I would like for you to tell the audience who you are. Who is Sledge? Your name is very interesting too. So
Okay.
tell us about it. Who are you?
All right. Sledge is a Haitian boy at heart. I was born on the island of Haiti.
Ça passe?
Naboule Menula.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's all I know, by the way.
Okay. But hopefully by the end of the show you pick up some extra words.
All right. All right.
So first one is Nula. Nula means we're here.
Ooh, Nula.
Yeah. Nula on the Darling Show.
Love it.
Nula.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was born there. I came to the States when I was young, though, um, and end up moving to Brooklyn, New York.
Hmm.
So spent some time up there. All Caribbean
They
foreigners,
go to
we
New
end up
York.
in New York some way, somehow. The ancestors before us said, hey, this is where we're going to go. We're going to leave the warmth and then go to the freezing cold
I
in
think
the
that's
snow.
crazy.
Man, shoveling snow and everything, walking to school. I
Wow.
remember those things. It was such a culture shock for me coming into this country.
Yeah.
I remember when I flew in like it was yesterday, and it was in the winter,
Hmm.
and it was snowing the
Mm.
first day I landed in this country,
Jesus.
and the flakes were falling from the sky. I was really
Were you
confused.
like, oh my God, snow?
I was really scared. I didn't know what was happening. Like, why is stuff falling out the sky?
Yeah.
You know, we call it neige. In my language,
Hmm.
we speak Creole and French in Haiti. Both of them are official languages of the country.
Hmm.
So it's like a imaginary fiction thing. It's like the fairy
Yeah.
tale land.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you talk you like from the tooth fairy to everything. It's like this imaginary thing. So snow
Yeah.
was this imaginary thing. I
Mm.
knew that some people really experienced it, but I personally it wasn't real to
Right.
me
Right.
until I came to America.
That's funny
Yeah.
because the first time I saw snow here in the States, I think it was actually here in Houston, maybe like 2 years ago
Okay.
when it snowed. It wasn't that much, but I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. I was just so excited. Like, oh my God, snow. I even went outside and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but I want to know like what challenges you went through when you moved, from Haiti to the States because and how old were you when you made that transition?
So, um, I was about 8 years old. The thing is, when you come to a different country, first there's a language barrier.
Yeah.
So I went to my parents put me into a private Catholic school, and the nuns there, they were kind of mean,
Ooh.
and then at the same time, the American kids that were there too, they were kind of mean too because um, Haiti had this bad stigma in the 80s. They were saying that, hey, we brought HIV into the
Mm,
country, but they called us boat people and stuff like that. So,
really?
yeah, so I had to deal with bullying, but, the good thing is I had very spiritual parents. They
Yeah.
were very connected to God, raised in the church and everything. So they kept us there in the nucleus. So
Hmm.
we had our own little bubble, and then that bubble helped fortify me.
That's good.
Although they were very tough on me, but um, inadvertently or maybe on purpose on their end,
Yeah.
their toughness made me tough in life to be able to deal with these American people. Sorry, I love American people now, but there
No.
was a point where I was like, man, this
Yeah.
this not for me. This is not it.
Yeah.
First of all, it's cold as I don't know what.
You can cuss if you want to. You can be yourself.
Yeah,
It's
I
called
am
that
being
shit.
myself. I am being
All
myself.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I can relate with you because
Yeah.
I also moved from Honduras. I was actually 14 when I moved from Honduras.
Okay.
Didn't know how to speak English when I moved here. And I also went through bullying in school. So I can only imagine, right? Like back in the days,
Yeah.
you had to go through all that
Yeah.
and it never changes. I feel like it's still happening.
It is
Because
still
I've only been
happening.
here for 13 years. It hasn't been that long, right?
Yeah.
But I really went through the same thing. So it's really tough when you coming from a whole different country, coming here, and then the American kids are mean. And let's talk about it
It's like
because
they
it's
can
really,
smell the difference on you.
yo,
It's like, man, I thought I looked like y'all, trying to. So, like, one thing my parents said, like, you have to assimilate
mm-hmm,
to this culture,
mm-hmm,
talk like them, be like them, but not really. When they say be like them, they're not talking about like the social aspect of being like them. Be like them as in learn their system and their ways,
yeah,
master it, and beat them at it.
mm,
Right. So I did that. I
mm-hmm,
did that, and did it was tough, but now as an adult, I wouldn't trade those experiences in for anything because to the world, I was this foreign kid.
Yeah.
And then at home, I was just a Haitian boy that, I mean, they had their expectations on me too. It's 9 of us siblings, so yeah.
I'm sure your parents were like very like strict growing up.
Strict is an understatement.
How
They push education to the T.
Yeah.
No room for error, because after all, they took a chance leaving back home to come here, so they didn't know anything about this country. So all they know is we come here for a reason,
Right.
for an opportunity, and we have to take full advantage of that opportunity, and make yourself better, make the family proud, and do better for yourself, set an example for the generations to come.
Do you feel like that was a lot of pressure growing up? Like having that pressure of like I have to make my parents proud.
Listen, the pressure was real, but at a certain point in life, I had to realize that I had to do it for me. I couldn't do it for them anymore. They instilled these certain values within me, but now I had to decide what it is that I want to do, what direction that I want to go, and the reason and the purpose that I'm doing this for. Because initially it was for them, to make them happy, to keep them smiling.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, that can't continuously be a motivation. Every man is on their own journey and on their own path.
That part. And that's something that I am now like realizing myself, because for so long I always wanted to like do things for my mom or my parents, right? Because your parents do have like some expectation for you, and then I'm like, okay, but I don't want to do things that doesn't make me happy. Like I want to be me, and I want to do the things that Alexa wants to do. Of course, like you said, the values, keeping the values and everything like that. But
doing things that Alexa wants to do, or Sledge wants to do, and still maintaining that identity and not veering too far off to where now the family takes a backlash for maybe wrong decisions or mistakes and stuff like that.
Right.
And when you tie yourself to those things, it's like you've embodied their persona. And so you have to put yourself and your identity aside for your own self, because you like, okay, I'm not here alone. I'm representing them. I'm representing myself, my grandma, my grandpa, my freaking cousin, everybody. We all here, Yeah. So if whoever's watching out there, if you're a foreigner, I think we can all relate to this.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a little break, right? We're gonna do a little game.
Okay.
So
I don't like really playing games, but we gonna play this game.
It's a good game. You're gonna love it. I promise you're gonna love it. So the game it's called Skip a Turn. So you gotta like pick a color. You're gonna roll the dice.
Okay.
Pick a color, and then you pick a card, and based on the color you have, you're gonna read the card.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk about the question on the card.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna let you do it.
Okay. So I grew up in, of course, I was in Brooklyn, New York, right? But then most of my journey was in Atlanta, Georgia, Decatur, Georgia, specifically, ATL. So you giving me a dice to roll? Listen, I had a couple of partners of mine. They were rolling the dice for real. So yeah. But anyways,
taking you back.
Right. Okay, so. Let's see. Oh, it fell on the floor. Okay,
it's fine.
Boom.
Just get the color.
All right, let's go. Green.
All right. So, just pick a card. You can grab a card.
Okay, you gonna bring green back in some kind of way?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So, there is a green question on there, right?
There is.
Okay, so what question is that?
Where are you when you are most nervous? How come? Is that my question or your question?
That's your question for you.
Okay, that's my question.
Where are you when you are most nervous?
That's a good question.
It is.
That's a good question because I like to keep myself together, for the most part, especially when eyes are on you.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you maintain. But when I'm most nervous, um, when the stakes are high, and it's a good nervousness too. I love to advocate for people, and for whatever reason, I have been called on a path, and it chose me, and I willingly accept to advocate for those that really don't have a voice, to be a voice
Yeah.
for the voiceless. So that comes with interviews, and certain reporters want to talk and
Right.
on certain topics and stuff like that. So right before then, I do a lot of studying to make sure the topic that I'm speaking on, I'm well versed on it, and I reflect on different angles, because I don't want to misrepresent what it is that I'm talking about or the people that I'm advocating for. So it's good to be knowledgeable. So the nervousness comes in. It's like, I hope everything that they would want me to say for them is articulated,
Right.
and not just articulated, it connects to the audience that it needs to go to.
That's tough.
So that's where the nervousness comes in.
'Cause
Not due to the lack of preparation, but more so making sure that I properly conveyed the message so that they get the advocacy that they need. So when the interview is on and the cameras are rolling, and I know the stakes are high, and you don't get a chance to retry it. So it's not like this is we live.
This is it, or
Whatever mistakes is happening
Lord,
is
that's a
is
lot.
is there. So there's some nervousness that comes in, but it's not due to lack of preparation, but really because I want to really represent very well.
Which
so,
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I watched your interviews before. You
Okay.
You be talking your shit.
Okay. I
You do.
appreciate that. I
You
appreciate
do.
that.
So I know that you do have a organization.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. I am actually part of it,
Okay.
HCPA, y'all.
Okay.
And I didn't really know about HCPA until I met you, actually.
Okay.
So for those of you guys who don't know, I met Sledge at an event.
Okay.
It was a networking event, and I'm all about networking, talking to people, like, who are you? And this man, he was just sitting there by himself, and I'm like, who is this man? So no, actually, somebody connected us though.
Yeah, it was one of my good friends, Vic.
Yeah.
Vic.
He was like, I need you to meet this man.
Yeah,
And he walked me all
yeah,
the way.
he did. He did. He brought us up
Yeah.
and introduced. He said, "Hey, you need to get connected with this young lady right here." And instantly, your energy was very good and very positive,
Thanks.
especially in finding out what it is that you do, your background and stuff like that.
Because you know how we. No, thank you.
No, for real. So the organization is Houston Caribbean Professional Association, and what we want to do, the mission is to connect people from that region, the Caribbean region, all the Caribbean islands, and build the network. The power of the network. I think we're stronger together than we are apart. Although bodies of water separates us, but the closeness, because we all came from the same direction, the motherland, right? Dropped in different areas, and so within that there's a connectivity, and I think that connectivity is key to advancing our culture and our individual purposes, right? To help one another here domestically and abroad, and expand that network so we can enhance each other, build each other up, and grow from there.
Yeah, and I love that. I love being part of like communities like that, because I feel like you said earlier, we are better together, right?
Right.
And a lot of times, I'm from Honduras, and to be honest, like, we don't really have, in Houston, we don't really have a community like strong like that. So I'm like, okay, I want to be part of something that kind of like makes me feel like I'm home,
Yeah.
Because I like to serve, and I like to be part of, helping people.
Right.
So I love ACPA. I've only been there with you guys for how long? Maybe like a month
Or so.
or
Yeah.
two,
Yeah.
something like that, maybe
Yeah.
a month. And it's been great. I would literally tell you guys, if you are Caribbean, make sure you guys look into it and join, because it is a great opportunity for you to not only network with people, but also get more involved in the community and learn. I've been learning a lot.
That's good. That's
A
good.
lot of things.
We're here to build one another up
Yeah.
and sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron. You know, sometimes when people reach across the aisles or say something, it may not be well received in the moment, but it may be exactly what it is that you needed. And having an environment to where people can continuously challenge you to move forward and shape up and do better
Yeah.
each and every step towards the ultimate goal.
Right.
That's what you want ultimately.
Was it hard for you building up ACPA? Like, how was it difficult for you doing that process?
I think so. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna talk about my other organization as well.
Mhm.
I have Houston Haitians United. So and before then, my family, we have Moving Haiti Forward, which is a nonprofit, and I grew up in the Haitian church. I was vice president of the youth group. So it's been cultivated within me to be community based.
Right.
All right. So first, before ACPA came, there was a journey prior to that led up to that, and everything that I just named contributed to where we are now as a organization for Houston Caribbean Professional Association.
Okay.
And it's been a beautiful struggle. You know,
I like how
beautiful
you did-
journey.
how you put that
Because
together.
the thing is, when you're dealing with community work, you have so many vast different personalities
Sure.
and people with different tax brackets. So it's not a cookie cutter type of thing.
Yeah. I
You
bet.
know, so you have to be really poised and stay somewhere down the middle to where you don't stray to the left too much, you don't stray to the right too much, and stay focused on the mission that you have and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And fortunately, I've had some very good people alongside of me within the executive teams to help push this forward.
That's good.
So I'm not here on my own strength. The successes that we have is not based upon my own strength.
Right.
Although I share within the successes, but the failures, I take them personally. I take them for myself. Yeah.
Okay. Has there been a lot of failures? Like,
I think in everything you do in life,
yeah, because I feel like a lot of times we focus so much on the good things, right? But no
Right.
one really talks about how hard it is to put something together, like, or how
yeah, you just see the
difficult it
end
is.
product.
You just see the end product, right?
Yeah, if it was good or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like to talk about the struggles sometimes because I feel like that's what kind of makes you keep going,
Yeah.
and then that's like your story. Like, okay, yeah, it looks good, but you know, it took me a while to get here, and I think even me, like, my struggles help me. I get inspired through my struggles. So
Okay.
it's the weirdest thing ever.
Okay, it builds character.
Yes, and every time that I go through something great comes out of it. Something creative or any, I don't know. It's just, so I'm pretty sure that maybe that's how it is for you, or
The struggle definitely builds character. You know, the pressure makes diamonds.
the pressure.
You know.
Listen, you're just out here dropping
Yeah.
phrases
Hey,
today. I'm about
diamonds
to
in
write
the
these
sky.
things.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah, pressure makes diamonds. You know, and it's not always pretty. And when the diamond is mined is dirty too after it went through all that pressure.
Yeah.
You know, to come together, all the minerals coming together to formulate that, right? Through years, you know, it didn't happen overnight. And when it's mined and they get the diamond, it's dirty.
Yeah.
So you have to sandblast it or whatever the process is that they do, cut it up into a beautiful shape and design, polish it up, you know, make sure that it's a process, and make sure once it's here, now who is going to get it? How are you gonna lay it? How are you gonna set that diamond? So everything is a process before. Now you see it at K Jewelers. We drop K Jewelers. That's free game. You know, send your boy a check or something. Yeah.
All right. Okay. That was good. So I do see you always looking fresh. You know, you always looking good. Like, you
Okay.
know, I love your style. I don't think a lot of black men carry themselves the way you do.
Okay.
So where do you get your style inspiration from? Like, who inspires you, and where does that come from?
So, an interesting thing. I have to credit that to my lineage. The men in my family, we come from an educated family, and so there's this, I don't know, air to us that's just been granted to me
Yeah.
via DNA. Right, my dad was he's very articulate, and he does very well with wordplay. He's a poet. He writes. And he could speak on the fly. My uncles, they're educated men. They're writers. They're authors, and they're professionals, from physicians to teachers, attorneys, or what have you, is there in the family. But being that I was raised in the church, I had to dress up all the time.
Yeah.
And although I started giving credit to my dad and my lineage, what cultivated it and polished it was my mother.
Okay, mom.
Yeah, my mother polished it now. That lady right there, whenever she's stepping out, whether it's
Fly.
casual or whether she's going somewhere to church, she loved going to church. Lord have mercy. I think I felt like every day of my life outside of school was church. Yeah. The three L's, l'école, l'église, la caille, which is l'école is school, l'église is church.
Oh,
La caille, la caille is home.
Home.
Yeah. So that's what they called me in my community, neg la caille. Neg la caille means man from home. Yeah, so neg la caille toujours fait belle bagaille. Neg la caille always does beautiful things. So a mixture of Haitian culture, my mother's influence, my family lineage, and the men in my family and how they carry themselves, the expectations that we hold ourselves to, and then I had to put my own self into it too, right? So I had a mentor. I went to Morehouse College. I had a mentor. His name was Roland Boone. They call him the Duke of Buckhead. Wow. And he's an older gentleman, and I'm naturally attracted to like classic things. And this guy is the flyest guy you'll ever meet in your life. There's nobody that I've ever seen. So he took his time and taught me like why people wear things when they wear it at the proper time. So sometimes people just dress up. They say, hey, I like this material. I like this color. I'm just throwing it on. But there's rules to it. There's a season for certain materials. There's a season and time for certain shoes. Right. You know, how you tie your tie, there's different knots, you know, from the accessories that you put, you know, on, right? So I think all of that now merged and I made it
your thing,
my own thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, I wish there were more education about fashion, because I feel like that really says a lot about who you are, right?
Okay.
Like, me, I'm not going nowhere looking raggedy. I cannot. I can't.
That's my mama. You're not about to embarrass me.
My cousin sometimes always be like, oh, girl, you don't have to wear makeup to go. I'm like, listen, I'm going to wear my makeup. I'm going to look good because I need to feel good when I go out. Right? You know what I mean? Like, it's just part of me.
Yeah.
And I guess everybody has their own little, like, ways of carrying themselves, but I really love the way you carry yourself. Your fits are always fly. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Walking in the building like.
So there's a brand called Gentleman Noir. Gentleman Noir is the lifestyle of the classic man, and from the perspective of the minority, the black skin, right? I feel like, you know, I used to subscribe to GQ magazine and stuff like that, but at that time there wasn't really much representation for people that looked like me. And so, again, I told you I was raised in Decatur, Georgia for the most part of my life. And within that community, it's that minority community. I mean, my family, when we came to America, it was a struggle. We're doing very well now, right? We've been able to move out of that, but it was still humble beginnings.
Yeah.
So, lower middle class environment. And so, who did you have to look up to that showed you different things? So fortunately for me, I'm glad that I had that strong family background and I had good examples from within. But the brand Gentleman Noir is to highlight and accentuate what that looks like from our perspective. We like to golf, we like classic things, we like art, we like music. We're family oriented. We're respectable.
I think you're a classy man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I
we're
mean.
yeah.
A man that's, that dresses nice, that is respectable, that is family oriented, all that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's a plethora out there, right? But I feel like it's not always noticed. I think from the eye of the underdog perspective, I was always like a nerd, right? But I like to think of myself as a cool nerd,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Right. But I was that kid that really didn't have it all together or didn't put it together yet to make sense. Now, as a
Now it makes sense.
like middle-aged man, it makes sense, and I was able to pull that and draw it together. So it's there. I think that having a platform to show that these type of men exist, is very key.
Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
of course. Which is why I brought it up too, because I'm like, I think it's important for black men, right, to know how to dress and like put more thought into how to carry yourself as a man. I think that's very important. And I
It's
think
not for me. It's not just about the dressing. It's the knowledge behind why it is that you're doing.
right,
So
right.
let's not focus just strictly on the
Fashion,
aesthetic
why,
aspect of it.
yeah.
It's a substance that comes from within too, because you could still be a classic man in streetwear. I like Jordans, I like J's, I like caps, fitteds, and all of that. Right, so I'm just like that today, but tomorrow, I'll be in some sweats. But even then, even when you dress down too, there's rules and levels to the stuff that you can incorporate your own style and swag to it. So whether you're more urban or you're more on the classic side, you can still be a gentleman, and that's what my brand represents, Gentleman Noir.
I love that. I love that. You have a lot of things going on for yourself.
I do. It's a body of work. I'm still growing, still working on myself, still improving. It's about constant achievement at the utmost level.
I love that. I love that for you. So my last question.
Okay.
How do you? Because I know you're a busy man. You're very busy. So how do you find balance? Oh, my accent came out. How do you? Yeah, I'm not serious.
Yeah.
How do you find balance between your work life and your personal life? Because you have a lot going on right now. So how do you find that middle ground for yourself? Because you need time for yourself too.
One thing that I watched a very hardworking mother in my household, and she didn't really have a lot of time to herself, and she sacrificed for our well-being. So my motto is, hey, I'll sleep when I'm dead, right?
Jesus.
But some people say, hey, you got to enjoy the moment, enjoy life. You have to. So what I do now, I create a feng shui for the things that I'm involved in, whether it's organization, my personal brands,
Yeah.
or my professional life. It has to all fit in a feng shui to where those things that I'm doing
You're also having fun.
are enjoyable.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing something for the community, from a give back or a fundraiser or some stuff like that, we can still have our drinks, smoke cigars, which I enjoy and stuff like that, but it's with a purpose.
Right.
So I'm not just
Right.
out there popping bottles and doing this just to be spending the money. I'm spending it because this money that I'm contributing or this energy that I'm putting into is going for a cause. Simultaneously, I'm around people that understand what it is that we're trying to create,
Right.
right? And they're vested into that while having fun.
I love that.
So to me, that's the balance that I found. Although it is work, it's still enjoyable and it's still fulfilling, because there's a purpose behind it. I think we have to be very intentional,
Yes.
with the things that we do.
That's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Intentional.
Yeah, you gotta be
By the
intentional.
way, y'all, we had fun. I had fun last night. We
Okay.
Was it Haitians United? It was.
No,
was
it was just that dope. And La Famille Royale. La Famille Royale is the musical group that I was in because I love music.
Okay.
We put that event together, Sip Paint and Guyad, to where we wanted to expose who we are as a culture, and also highlight different creativities that we have. So this one happened to be a painting experience. And also, it's a give back to the organization, Houston Caribbean Professional Association. Last one that I did, we did a Houston Haitians United benefited from it.
Gotcha.
So this time
Okay,
it's Houston
got
Caribbean
it.
Professional Association that benefited from it. So it's not an organization, it's two individuals that came together to put that on. Simultaneously, I do Dance Fever.
Yeah, I love Dance Fever.
Dance Fever is definitely a vibe to where we highlight what the compa, kizumba
I mean, like,
aesthetics are. So for us Caribbean folks, it's not about the dance hall all the time or the crazy parties that you guys see in the soca and the fets. Those are cool too. But there's also a different aspect to the Caribbean community, and we want to highlight and promote that Dance Fever. It happens every last Friday of the month.
Back home in Honduras, know, we have our island Roatan, right? Which no one really knows about Roatan.
Okay.
And I really want to make it, I want to make it known. I want people to know about Roatan because if you think about the islands, if everybody knows Trinidad, Jamaica, all these islands, but no one talks about Roatan. Even when I go out to the club, somebody says, Roatan in the build. Nobody does. And I be getting tight because I'm like, how come nobody knows about us, right? And it's a beautiful island. In Roatan, they do have this genre of music. It's called band dance.
Okay.
And it's like bands, but I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna play for you.
Okay.
But when people from Roatan, they know what I'm talking about. So band dance it's a vibe. You know what I mean? People like it's like people always dance to it. It's like reggae.
Okay.
But like band, it's
right.
Point is, I want people to know more about it, right? And it would be nice if if there was an event that kind of show that aspect of.
So
that,
for
that
me,
place.
for me, everything is about experiences. If you're putting something on, let it be again purposeful. Right. So your purpose is you want to expose people to that rantan. Right? Did I say that right? Rotan.
Yeah, yeah.
But say it again.
English.
Say it again.
I don't speak English.
No, say it again.
Well, I say Rotan.
Rotan.
Yeah.
Okay,
but people
cool.
be like Rotan, but it's Rotan.
Rotan.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, exposing them to Rotan. And that is purposeful because now the culture lives through what it is that you are putting on. So now it transcends from something that you want to do selfishly, right? For your own personal gain, to now something that makes all the ancestors that came before you proud, and that
Yeah.
culture
Yeah.
continues to exist.
Exactly. Right.
So
Right.
you creating the lane for that. Yeah, I would love to partner with something like that, and do something. Maybe we can
We'll talk
make
about it.
and merge those
You know,
things together.
it will definitely go with kind of with compa because
Okay.
it's very similar, kind of
All
like
right.
it's there. But Sledge, it has been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
This was an amazing conversation. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Yo,
thank you.
thank you for having me. We said that we were going to Voga from Italia,
Mhm.
right? Pinot Grigio.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Pinot Grigio.
Grigio.
That's how you said it.
So, it's not bad. It was a smooth experience.
Yeah.
Although it's a dry wine, I felt like it was still very refreshing.
Right.
It was light. We could do this on with a mimosa
For sure.
or by
By
itself.
itself. Yep.
You could drink it on a warm day or a cool
See,
day, and it's a cool bottle too.
it
Um,
is. I love the
so
bottle. I do.
so if you said it came with good reviews, right?
5 stars. It's an
5 stars.
award-winning wine.
I'm going out of 5. I am going to give it a 4.8.
What? Okay, so why are you leaving 2 points out of it? I just want
I'm
to know.
leaving 2 points out of it because I need to make sure that this wasn't a fluke. I want to
So I.
experience it again.
Oh, okay.
So I'm leaving room for 2%
Got it. All
for
right.
another experience.
Fair.
Right?
That's fair.
All right. So cheers to you
Cheers.
and the Darling Show. Thank you for having me on.
Of course.
All right.
Mm. All right, Sledge. So before we end the show, please let the audience know where they can find you at on your social medias platforms.
Yeah, so I go by Neglakai Belbagay, so Neglabagay, Neglakai Belbagay. My brand, that's my personal, and then my brand, Gentleman Noir, gentleman with a MEN dot noir, NOIRE. All right. So that's on all platforms. So gentleman dot noir is where you can find me. There's the website too, www.gentlemannoir.com. We have some great things coming up. We also have Dance Fever. Follow Dance Fever Experience. You could just Google it, Dance Fever in Houston, and then we'll pop up. You'll see the monthly events that we do, and yeah, we're here for it.
All right, and
Oh, you know what? I also want to give a shout out to Houston Caribbean Professional Association. So that's HCPA SSOC. So at HCPA SSOC, for those that want to get tied in
yes,
to the Caribbean community and Houston Haitians United, which is HH United 1804.
see, this man got a lot going on, y'all. Make sure you guys follow him on all social media platforms. Connect with him. He's a great individual, and you guys can learn a lot from him as well. And don't forget to purchase this delicious wine. You can find this at HEB, Kroger's, Specs, everywhere, y'all. Okay? And let them know that Alexa sent you. All right? Bye. I'm finna do